Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Gerard Pratt, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Lieutenant Commander Jed Goggin. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the Returned and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony from across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. If able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through until the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that would help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those listed on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private John Oswald. John Oswald was born on the 18th of May, 1895, in the maritime village of Kinghorn in Scotland. Known as Jock, he was the eldest of 8 children born to ship joiner John Oswald Sr. and his wife Isabella. Young Jock received his education at the local public school and went on to take up an apprenticeship in the nearby town of Kilcarty. He came to Australia with his family in 1912 when he was 17 years old. The Oswald family settled in Western Australia, living in the suburbs of East Perth. Jock found work as an apprentice iron moulder for the Western Australia Railways and joined the local Caledonian Pipe Band. Jock Oswald enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force on the 25th of January 1916. He was assigned to the 44th Battalion with the rank of private and began a short period of training in Australia. He embarked for active service from Fremantle on the 6th of June that year, travelling on board the troop ship Swayvik. Private Oswald arrived in England in late July and continued training with his new comrades. He remained in camp until November 1916, when his unit embarked for the Western Front. The men entered the trenches for the first time on the 29th of December, spending the bitterly cold winter that followed in and out of the front lines. In January 1917, Oswald's battalion was moved to the Franco-Belgian border, serving near the village of Amuntier. On the 2nd of January, the men were in the front-line trenches under heavy enemy bombardment. Private Oswald was moving along a communication trench towards the front line when enemy shelling began to hit his position. He was struck by shell fire, and he and another man were badly wounded by the same shell. Stretcher bearers assisted the men, carrying them to a nearby dressing station. By the time they arrived, Jock Oswald was already dead, having succumbed to his wounds on the stretcher. One of his comrades recalled the moment he was hit. Jock Oswald was wounded badly by a high explosive shell at 3 p.m. on the 2nd of January 1917 and died that same day. I attended to Jock when hit. He was unconscious and died peacefully. His comrades buried him nearby at the C.T. Bonjean Military Cemetery in Amuntier. John Oswald was 21 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private John Oswald, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
If able, please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières, or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support of the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.